course, Bay County Sheriff Tommy Ford, Brad Monroe, Chief of Emergency Services for Bay County, Robert Carroll, Chairman of the Bay County Commission, as well as other members of the local government. Over the weekend, I joined local officials to survey the area and offer any support needed to respond to these wildfires. This afternoon, as of our most recent update, the Adkins Avenue Fire is approximately 875 acres and 50% contained. The Bertha Swamp Road Fire is 10% contained and is over 28,100 acres. Dense fog combined with the smoke from the fires may limit visibility in the area again tonight, so please take it slow on the road and be mindful for any wildlife that may be escaping the fires. While we are anticipating some rain that may help these fires, there's also a threat of severe weather, which could include lightning and tornadoes. So residents should keep monitoring updates from local officials and be aware of the weather that is rolling in. As of last night, all the evacuations for the Adkins Avenue Fire have been lifted, which is great progress. The evacuation order is still in place for Bear Creek, and in Calhoun County, evacuation orders are being issued as we speak. So please listen to your local officials. I know Sheriff Kimbrell is working to help protect those communities. So if you do get an evacuation order, please heed the call on that. Though these fires are moving very quickly, and it's not something you can just wait and then all of a sudden bail at the last minute. Nobody wants to tell someone to leave their home. It's a major inconvenience. It's not good for people generally. We understand that. But if they're doing that, that's because they fear a risk of injury, property damage, or death for an individual. So please heed that call. And I know all those local officials are going to work to get people back in their homes. I think one of the stories of this so far has been an enormous fire and multiple fires, as we know. The conditions over the last 3 days have been ideal for the fire moving and spreading. The winds picked up. There's not a lot of humidity in the air. And so it's been a difficult situation. And yet if you look at the number of homes that have been total loss, I think we have 2 that have registered. Some others have been damaged, but there are way more properties that have been threatened over the last 3 days. And the work of the folks, the municipal level, at the county level, and then our state agencies helping has done wonders to help mitigate the effects of this fire. If you would have said last week this fire would have been this big, we would have all predicted much more in the way of destruction of individual homes. And so these folks are out there putting their lives on the line to protect people's lives, but also to protect people's homes. And so they've had remarkable success in doing that, and we really appreciate all that they've been able to do. Today, I'm proud to announce additional steps that the state government is taking to help families that have been displaced. At my direction, the Florida Department of Economic Opportunity is working with local agencies to provide $6.1 million to help qualified families get back on their feet through community service block grant and low-income home energy assistance programs. Individuals who were displaced or whose homes were damaged in Bay, Calhoun, and Gulf counties will be able to apply for this funding that will help with items such as food, temporary housing, daycare costs, transportation assistance, as well as HVAC, electric, and other utility repair costs. At my direction, DEO will also activate the Business Damage Assessment Survey. By activating the survey, DEO will be able to assess the impact of the wildfires on businesses in Northwest Florida, and will be able to determine if those businesses will qualify for additional resources, whether at the state or at the federal levels. And businesses can access the survey at floridadisaster.biz, floridadisaster.biz. It's important for every impacted business to fill this out to determine if the entire community is eligible for low-interest loans and grants. I am also announcing that the Department of Children and Families has deployed their staff to form a family resource support center. Out of this center located at the Bay County Fairgrounds, DCF will coordinate support for displaced families and dedicated staff that will connect families to available local and state resources. These teams are working with nonprofits to make sure these families are fed, clothed, and have shelter until it is safe to return to their homes. DCS also has staff who are devoted to responding to the mental health needs of the community, including first responders and children. This whole area has been through a lot in the past 3 years, starting with Hurricane Michael. We need to make sure that they are able to take care of themselves as they take care of others. These staff will be on the ground to help for as long as they are needed. So I want to thank everybody who's been involved in this response. We are hoping to get better weather conditions that will help. We thought we would get a little bit more rain. Now they're saying maybe not as much, and so we'll see what happens with that. But I can tell you the people that are out there are going to remain working and engaged while this remains a threat to the community. So on behalf of the state of Florida, thanks to all our firefighters, thanks to Bay County, thanks to the other surrounding counties, and thanks to our National Guard who's been able to come in with air assets. We now have 3 Chinooks and 3 Blackhawk helicopters that are helping drop water on the fire. Of course, when it's 30,000 acres, it makes it more difficult than fires that are a little bit more localized. Okay, we're going to hear from other folks who are involved in the response. So we'll start with Director of the Division of Emergency Management, Kevin Guthrie.
Thank you, Governor. Thank you, Lieutenant Governor, for your leadership on this. As the Governor just mentioned, we now have 6 helicopters involved in the air attack on this particular fire. I think the story for this particular press conference is residents inside of Calhoun County need to immediately make sure that they're listening to their sheriff, to their emergency management agency, and their local fire chiefs. There are some situations going on right now as we're having this press conference that people are needing to evacuate areas and be cognizant of approaching fires. This afternoon, about an hour ago, we had several flare-ups happen along the fire's edge, especially on the north, northeast, and eastern sides of the fire. So again, if you are still involved in this fire, you can see the smoke from where you're at. We want you to make sure you're paying attention to the media, make sure you're paying attention to your local officials. We appreciate the efforts of the CFO's office with the fire marshal. We have, and I'm sure he's going to speak to it, but we have probably somewhere in the neighborhood of about 175 firefighters now from municipal agencies and county agencies across the state helping out with this fire. So that's what makes the State Emergency Response Team successful, is our partners at the local, municipal, and county level to help us to respond to these type of incidents. The last thing I'll say is the State Emergency Operations Center was activated to a level 2 yesterday in support of this event, and they will continue to remain activated to support us in any way, shape, form, or fashion we need. Again, Governor, Lieutenant Governor, thank you very much for your help on this.
Okay. All right, CFO Petronas.
Thank you, Governor. Thanks, Lieutenant Governor. Thanks for being here. Governor, you still never cease to amaze us. You never allow any daylight to get between Northwest Florida's recovery and dealing with Hurricane Michael. It's the storm that just keeps on giving and giving. As what we've been faced here now, it's like a ghost. We can't get rid of the damn thing. And if you look at the path of the storm that it has taken when it hit here in October of 2018, it's the exact same path the fire is taking. So as the fuel's on the ground, it's creating a pathway. And as Director Guthrie said, you know, I tell you, if you see smoke, you should heed the warnings and you should go to safe areas. Don't take a chance of wanting to sit this out. It's just not worth it. You can't replace, we can replace all your stuff, but we can't replace your lives. The governor is listening. He's being innovative. He's thinking out of the box. He's partnering with the legislature. He's partnering with Dane to bring resources to help people get back to normal after such a disaster that just continues to torment and torture this area of the state. Hurricane Michael devastated us, and again, now as this fire has grown from 13,000 acres to 28,000 acres to now over 30,000 acres, it is growing. It is in Calhoun County, it's in Gulf County, it's in Bay County. The amazing effort of all the strike teams that have come into the state from as far as Jacksonville, as far as south as Naples, in addition to with work on the Florida Forestry. Those men and women have been working around the clock in addition to the incredible efforts of our local responders here, the Sheriff's Office, FWC, Highway Safety Motor Vehicles. Everybody has been pulling and rowing in the same direction. But the Bertha fire is not a storm to take a chance with. It is a life taker. I want you to make sure if you are getting those warnings, you take and heed those warnings to do the best you can to take your family to safety. Go to Port St. Joe for the night, go to Bluntstown for the night, but just stay out of the Kynard area. Move out of the Chipola Basin. Governor, I'm just going to say it again. Kevin has been amazing. And, he was the first one here this morning. Next thing you know, he has taken off to Calhoun County to go make sure and assess the situation with his own 2 eyes, and then he's back here. I really appreciate the leadership team you've assembled here for this day.
Okay, thanks. Okay, Dane Eagle, Secretary, Department of Economic Opportunity.
Thank you, Governor, and thank you all for the opportunity to be here today. As the Governor mentioned, he has asked every single one of the state agencies to dig in to see what we can do to assess and help with the situation. So 2 announcements at a DEO, Department of Economic Opportunity today. One, as the Governor mentioned, $6.1 million for assistance to residents. This could be in the form of temporary housing, transportation, debris removal, daycare, other bills, and also for energy assistance, helping repair and replace HVAC units, you name it. Income qualified residents are encouraged to go to floridajobs.org to apply, and we're standing by to assist. On the other hand, businesses, the economy is affected by disasters like this, and for us to get an understanding of how bad it is, we need the help of the businesses in the community to go do our business damage assessment survey, which has been launched. That is at floridadisaster.biz, floridadisaster.biz. It may not be direct damage to your brick and mortar structure. This may be your clientele is affected and they're not coming in. Maybe you're a volunteer firefighter and your business is on the back end. You're not being able to focus on your business. Whatever it is, please, we can't stress it enough, go do the survey. Your data and information is invaluable in us being able to dig in and potentially provide more help to the community. So residents, go to floridajobs.org. Businesses, floridadisaster.biz. We're standing by to assist. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, Secretary of Department of Children and Families, Siobhan Harris.
Thank you, Governor. Thank you, Lieutenant Governor. The Department of Children and Families is honored to be able to serve this community through the opening of the Family Resource Support Center located at the Bay County Fairgrounds. The families who've been displaced from the fires are going through something most of us can't even imagine. An event like this can be so taxing, not only financially, but physically and emotionally. We've deployed our care navigators and other department professionals to the Family Resource Support Center to provide one-on-one support to any individual or family needing help. We know the process for applying for benefit assistance or navigating the different systems and programs that are out there to help during this time can sometimes be overwhelming. Our goal is to make everything easier and to ensure everyone has the resources and tools needed to recover quickly from this disaster. The Family Resource Support Center will serve as a central hub for the community to access resources and supports, and we will continue to work with local partners and organizations to expand the array of services that are available to help meet the needs of impacted families. Additionally, the Family Resource Support Center will house mental health professionals offering counseling services and other behavioral health services provided by our partner, Northwest Florida Health Network. We also have peer support services available for first responders who are tirelessly working to address the wildfires. Individuals who cannot make it to the Family Resource Support Center can still reach a care navigator for help by calling the Hope line at 850-300-HOPE. Our prayers are with families, and we're here to support you during this critical time. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Brad Monroe.
Thank you, Governor DeSantis, and on behalf of the first responders of the state of Florida and Bay County, thank you again for coming back to support us in this terrible, terrible situation. I also want to thank CFO Petronas, Director Rice, Assistant Director Rice, Director Guthrie, who's done an incredible job for us, a very bright person. I'm glad to have him in that position. The Secretaries Harris and Eagle also thank you for coming today. I'm happy to report as far as the Bay County Emergency Services and the IMT for Bay County, we've had no injuries and to first responders and no further damage to homes other than the initial of the Adkins fire. I think we've had a phenomenal response by the agencies, the task force who've come into Bay County and are still in place. And I also want to thank Sheriff Ford for the incredible help we got with the evacuations in those areas that were threatened. Our hearts are with our neighbors in Calhoun County, and we stand ready to help them in this terrible time, what they're facing. We're ready to help, and what we've done, we've sent some of the task force that were assigned to us. We've already deployed them to Calhoun County. I have battalion chiefs and area fire chiefs who are up there with the task force, accompanying them wherever their assignments go. The burn ban that's in place, it's important. I've gotten reports in the last 3 days where we've been responding in Bay County to fires, people setting fires, and I can't express the seriousness of this event. This is a huge fire. I've been doing this for a very long time, and a helicopter ride around this fire will just scare you. This is a living, breathing beast. That's the only way I can describe it. When it produces its own weather, you see lightning strikes within a fire on a bright sunny day. It's incredible. Words cannot describe it. And it grows and grows and grows. And like CFO Petronas described earlier, it seems to be following that debris path from Hurricane Michael. The help we've got in Bay County throughout our situation, it seems to be improving, and we stand ready to help our neighbors.
And we want to thank everybody for all their hard work, and just to reiterate what has been said by a number of these folks, if you are told to evacuate your home, particularly now in Calhoun County as we see it raging very significantly there, heed those warnings. You're not going to get a mulligan on this if you stay behind and the fire gets out of control in a neighborhood. So heed the warnings. This is a really big fire. We have weather conditions that are not what we would want to fight the fire. It's fueling the fire. We're going to hope that we get significant rain, although the forecast is not as positive as we had initially hoped on that. So just understand that this thing is a big beast that is following that path of Michael, which means it's got huge amounts of debris that it's able to use to continue fueling forward. So please listen to your local officials, and we have huge amounts of resources that are in place that are working around the clock to fight it, but at the same time, do your part if you're told that this is something that you should be evacuating. And again, right now, really that Calhoun County area, with it moving north the way it is the area that we're most concerned about. And so we'll continue to be supporting, and of course on the back end, people that are displaced, we've already been able to marshal resources, and I've told agencies figure out what else can be done to help folks who have been displaced with this. With that, I'll take a couple questions, or actually these guys probably have a lot of great information as well. Anybody?
I guess I'll start. My first question is, strategically speaking, how is the state planning to address this? If this is going to be a long-term issue here in Florida?
Long-term issue meaning additional fires in the future, or this one? Well, I think it's just a situation, we've all talked about it. We've put hundreds of millions of dollars in the aftermath of Hurricane Michael, and Kevin can maybe talk a little bit more about it, to be able to assist with minimizing some of the debris that we see. But I mean, it's just such a massive area. So this is something that I know we've had conversations probably before I even became governor. We talked about right in the immediate aftermath of Hurricane Michael that this was there. Now we have other parts of the state that can be susceptible to wildfires. It's not just limited to this, don't get me wrong, but I don't think any place, maybe even in the country right now, where you'd have this much fuel on the ground, because you had a Category 5 storm come through here. And these trees, I mean, you remember driving, you still see them. I mean, they just knocking them out, and that's miles and miles of this property. And so this is something that I think people have been concerned about for quite some time. I'll let Kevin talk about some of the things that have been done.
Yeah, so again, to the heart of the question on what is our strategic mission there, right? So the state emergency response team depends on local firefighters from across the state. Once we get to a point, and if we do have a bigger problem across the state, we'll go into what's referred to as EMAC, or the Emergency Management Assistance Compact, and we'll start pulling fire crews from other locations. So I don't want the citizens of Florida to be concerned that we're going to run out of fire resources, or we're going to run out of National Guard helicopters. we have the reach back capability to go to other states that have helped us out in the past and that we've helped also throughout the last, 10, 20 years. So that strategically, that's how we're going to respond to it, is we'll work in those layers, if you will, the layers of the onion, to bring in additional resources wherever we need to and however we need to.
And I have another question for the governor.
Anybody else? Okay, all right, well, we're gonna be engaged in this and, just, pray for the best in terms of the weather conditions. You get a storm that comes in that is not necessarily giving us the amount of rain we need, but it's spinning tornadoes and lightning strikes, that could be even more problematic. And so, we hope we get a really significant amount of rain very soon, but in the meantime, we'll have all hands on deck trying to help folks and trying to protect the community. So thank you, guys.
Governor, any remarks?